Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Trevor from Tradeblog HD here, and today I'm here with the A5. I'm actually gonna be doing a quick review on this thing. I've been using it for like 2 weeks now, 2-3 weeks now. So this is just me talking about how I'm getting on with the phone. You know, what I like about the phone, what I don't like about the phone, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. So first thing is first, guys, with this phone, the main thing that Samsung were trying to push out on this phone is that build quality on the phone, the all metal build around the handset. And I have to say, it's holding on pretty well. I mean, I've dropped it a few times, believe it or not. The phone is still in pretty great condition. The metal, I don't actually have any scratches on the phone at all. The phone is still holding on pretty well. The back, again, no scratches on it whatsoever, still holding on. I don't know how that's happening, but it is still holding on. The front, the glass, well, the glass is just standard glass, you know, nothing much has happened to the glass. I don't have any scratches on it yet or anything like that. So that is still holding on really well. So far, in terms of the design of the phone and how much it's holding on itself, the phone has been great. It's actually doing a lot better than some of the phones I've had in the past, including my Note 4, believe it or not. The metal casing they've used on this one, it's great. I mean, considering I've got the darker version of it, so any scratches on the back or anything like that, they'll be visible straight away. But honestly, on this phone, I can't see any scratches whatsoever. There's pretty much no scratches on it at all. So it's been holding on pretty well, and I'm actually really impressed by that. It's been great, and yeah, I love it. I actually love the body design on this phone. Again, same with the likes of the Alpha, but on this one, the fact that they used all metal, it made it even better. So yeah, the body design on this phone is great. Samsung did a really great job on that. But guys, the display on this bad boy is a 720p HD screen. It's not a full HD screen that most people probably would prefer. It's a 720p screen, which is not always a bad thing considering how bright this phone can get, especially when you're outside in direct sunlight. The phone does an incredible job of holding the light up. You know, when you've got the brightness cranked all the way up, it's pretty great. I mean, I wouldn't say it's on par with the Note 4, because the Note 4 screen is pretty incredible. One of the best screens I've ever used. But considering it's a 720p screen, on a slightly smaller screen as well, it's great, okay? The screen on this, the display on it, it's absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the best 720p screens I've used on a phone, on pretty much any phone, and that's also beating the likes of, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but the S3 had a 720p screen. And to be honest, and this is not me being over the top or anything like that, I kind of prefer this display over the one that's on the S5, believe it or not. Because this display, for some reasons, it works pretty well with the phone. I mean, yeah, fair enough, the pictures are not as crisp as the ones you probably get, you know, like I said, on the S5. But if you look at the details, I don't know, for some reasons, it looks a lot better. It feels better, even when you look at them, they feel better. I don't know what Samsung did with it, but it's great. The display on this thing is actually really great. Samsung did a great job. Again, I have to give props to Samsung, so well done to Samsung on the display on this phone. It's great. Even when you take pictures and you look on the display, they look absolutely great. So yeah, I definitely love the display on this phone, so it's a big thumbs up for me. For the thing that everybody uses, the camera. The camera on this phone is the 13 megapixel sensor on here at the back and the 5 megapixel sensor at the front. The one at the back, it's not the best sensor camera you're gonna get in the world, definitely not, but it's good enough for anybody to use on a regular basis, and the pictures you're gonna get from me are gonna be good enough for you to use in pretty much any way you want to use. And that's talking on the picture side, and that's pretty much the same with the front facing camera. That 5 megapixel camera sensor at the front, it's one of the best front facing cameras I've seen on a Samsung phone. This is just basing it on all the other previous Samsung phones that have been out there. This is probably one of the best ones you're going to get on a Samsung phone if you take a lot of selfies, because that 5 megapixel camera, you can definitely tell the difference, especially like when I compared it to my Note 4 and I compared the Note 4 to this A5. you could definitely tell the difference in the picture, you know, in the pixels. You can definitely tell the difference on this one. And I prefer it. I definitely prefer the 5 megapixel front-facing camera on this phone compared to any other Samsung phone I've used in the past. The rear-facing camera, however, great camera, don't get me wrong, absolutely great, but it's not on par, again, like I said, with the likes of the Note 4, considering this is supposed to be a mid-range phone. So it's definitely not on par with the other ones. Again, it works great. And another thing about the phone, the fact that you get a ton of modes, you know, from Samsung. Some more you can download some more and all that kind of stuff. Samsung always provides you with a lot of modes, you know, they want you to be flexible with your phone, which is pretty great. You know, you, like I said, you do get a lot of them. So yeah, it's great. You know, it's a great back-facing camera, and the front-facing camera, for me, definitely the best front-facing camera I've used on a Samsung phone. And I'm not just saying that, actually, even like I said, it beats the Note 4's one, and I loved the one on the Note 4. But yeah, this one is definitely a lot better. It's great. I would definitely recommend it if you take a lot of selfies. It's great. The back one, again, really, really good. The pictures are crisp. Same with videos as well. The video quality is really, really awesome. But again, not on par again with the Note 4's. That's the back camera. But the front one is definitely ahead. It's definitely ahead compared to all the other ones. So yeah, I definitely have to give Samsung, again, props to them, because they did a good job with the camera on this one. It's mainly the front-facing camera. The back camera, again, great. Not on par with the, like I said, the likes of the Note 4 or the S5, but definitely good enough to compete with other smartphones within its price range. That's definitely for sure probably one of the best ones you're gonna get. Now, for something that's really important to a lot of people, battery life. I've been getting a bit of a hit and miss on the battery life on this one. It's good. I mean, it can last me a whole day without needing to put it on charge again, which is good. But again, I'm getting about 4 hours worth of screen time on this phone with battery, you know, with moderate use, not really heavy use. I'm getting about 4 hours of screen on time, and most of the times I have my brightness cranked up all the way to the top, which could be one of the reasons why. But yeah, I'm getting about 4 to about 4.5 hours worth of on-time screen on this, which is great. Like I said, it usually do last me about the whole day. Like, I take it off charge in the morning before I go to work and stuff. Get back home, I'll still have about 30% of battery left. Like, this is me getting home around 8 o'clock at night. And usually I put it on charge when I wake up in the morning, because I usually wake up like a couple of hours before I have to go to work. But yeah, it's great. You know, it lasts me a whole day, which is good, which is what most people want. But if you're going to be a heavy user, because I did get that little problem a little bit when I was using the phone. I did kind of overused it one time, and by the time I got home, my battery was dead. And this was me overusing it. Maybe, like I said, maybe the fact that I always have my brightness cranked all the way up has something to, you know, to do with it, which is pretty much my fault. But if you're going to be an average user, you're definitely going to get a full day worth of use on this phone, and you won't need to charge it until the following day, which is a great thing to have, you know what I mean? But for a heavy user, somebody like me, like, I'm used to the Note. I usually use the Note as my daily driver, and with that one, by the time I finish, and this is with heavy usage, I still have at least 50% of battery left, which is pretty incredible, because I charge my Note like 3-4 times in a week, and that's no joke. The Note one, you know, the battery on the Note is so much, you know, it's incredible. But considering it's a 2,300 milliamp hour battery, on a 720p display as well, which kind of helps, you know, you don't have as many pixels in there. It's great, you know, like I said, it lasts about a day, you know what I mean, about a day's worth of use. I get about, yeah, like I said, about 4 to 4.5 hours worth of screen time. That's, you know, that's the average I've seen so far, which is, again, it's great, you know, because for most people, they're not going to be using their phone as much as some of us would, because I work with phones all the time, so I use my phone quite a lot. But if I'm getting about a day's worth of use, an average user probably could get a day and a half, you know, could get longer. So again, I guess it's pretty good, you know, for a mid-range phone, you know what I mean? Mid-range phone you're getting, it's definitely worth it. It's great. So yeah, the battery on this one, again, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty good. I have to say, it is pretty good. Not as great as you'd expect, you know, from comparing to other big phones, but yeah, definitely worth it. Now guys, in terms of processing power on the phone, most of you guys will already know, we're talking, you know, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 on this phone, running on this phone, which is, you know, again, a mid-range processor that you're going to be getting on the phone. You know, it's got a quad-core clock to 1.2 gigahertz. Great, you know, and an Adreno 306, you know, which is pretty awesome. You know, not the greatest specs in the world out there, but for a mid-range phone, they're pretty awesome. Okay, and consider we also get that 2 gigs of RAM in there as well. The phone itself, in terms of responsiveness, it's really, really responsive, as you should expect, you know, from that kind of a processor. Really, really responsive. It does everything you want it to do, really, to be honest with you guys. It's really quick on the internet if you're going to be using the internet. You know, I'm not a really, really heavy user on this phone. I don't really use it as a really, really heavy user because it's a mid-range phone. Probably most people are going to be getting this phone. You know, it's just like people want it to work for all the simpler things, you know, like, I don't know, maybe occasionally play Candy Crush on their phone or something. But for those kind of things, the phone handles all those things really, really well. You won't have any issues with it at all. I'm pretty sure you guys have checked all the benchmark scores and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to bore you and go into too much detail on that. But in terms of processing power, how it handles itself for a mid-range phone, it's awesome. It's actually really, really good. Like I said, one of the best mid-range phones I've definitely used. And this is pretty much comparing it with the likes of even the Alpha as well, and I loved the Galaxy Alpha. You know, it's a great phone. I really, really loved it. This phone, again, really, really responsive. Everything you do on it is really, really snappy, which is great, you know, which is exactly what you want, you know, from a phone like this. You know, as you can tell, it's really, really responsive. Still rocking on Android 4.4.4. Hopefully should be updated to Lollipop sometime soon. We got our fingers crossed. But in terms of how the phone works, the phone is great. It does everything you want it to do, which is awesome. You know, which is exactly what you need, and it does it really, really well. You won't get that much stutter. I mean, TouchWiz, yes, we all know what TouchWiz is like. TouchWiz is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, we all know about that. But in terms of all the other everyday usage, general usage, you're gonna enjoy this phone. You will not have too many problems with this phone, and that's just me being totally honest. As you can tell, it's really, really smooth, and, you know, depending on what kind of stuff you're doing, you know, it loads pretty well. Just bear with me, I don't have the best of internet connections right now, but in terms of what you can do with the phone, is great. It will do pretty much everything you want it to do, and it will do it really, really well. So you're not gonna struggle with stuttering, you know, a lot of stuttering and all that kind of stuff. Forget all that. You know, for a mid-range phone, you're gonna get a bit more than you're paying for, and that's a good thing. That's always a good thing, especially, like I say, coming from a mid-range phone, which is awesome. So again, props to Samsung on that one. So at the end of the day, guys, it all comes to, is the phone worth it? And personally, from my opinion, I think it is probably one of the best mid-range phones you are gonna get that money can buy right now. The phone, like I said, it's absolutely fantastic. It does pretty much everything you want it to do, and it will do it brilliantly. You're not gonna struggle with anything. It's gonna handle pretty much everything you're gonna throw at it. You know what I mean? It can handle pretty much, so far it's handled everything I've thrown at it, and I can be a bit of a heavy user, but with this one I wasn't trying to overuse it. You know, because like I said, it is a mid-range phone, so I was trying to use it as such, you know, as a mid-range phone. I didn't want to overuse it, and like I said, it's great for the price you're paying on the phone. I mean, over here in the UK, if you're getting on a contract, you're probably looking between 24 to 27 pounds range. For a phone like this, that is definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it for that price range. In America, I won't be able to tell you exactly how much it'll be, but it will be a lot cheaper than most phones out there. And like I said, for what you're getting as a whole package, this phone is great. It's really, really great. I would definitely recommend it. For, you know, if you're out in the market looking for a smartphone, but you don't want to spend way too much, like over the top of your budget, definitely go for the A5. Great phone, you know what I mean? For, like I said, again, for the price you're paying, absolutely fantastic. You won't be able to fault it for many things, to be honest. It's great. You have to play around with it first, obviously, you know, to kind of get a feel of the phone. But again, great phone. You will definitely enjoy this phone. I love it. Probably will be keeping it for a bit longer, you know, have more fun with it again, see how I'm getting along with it. But again, so far from what I've seen on this phone, it's been great. It's held me pretty well, so I'll definitely recommend it to anybody. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick review on this phone because I've been using it for a little bit. But yeah, that's me. I'm out. Yeah, as you guys know, we've been doing quite a few giveaways. There's a giveaway that's going to be announced sometime soon. That's for the keyboard. The other guys are still deciding who's going to win it because a few people have entered, so they're deciding who's going to win it. And that's the same with the phone. I think it's going to be an Xperia T3, if I'm not confused, that's being given away. I don't know when exactly, they haven't told me yet, but that's soon, so keep your eyes out for that one. And yeah, this was the review on this bad boy right here. So guys, I'm out, y'all take care now. Peace.